So here are a couple exercises you can do with Mobility Max. These are the ones that come at the end of the routine. It's a routine of 20 exercises. Each exercise takes 30 seconds. So 20 exercises times 30 seconds, 10 minutes a day. So at the end of the routine, almost at the end, there's a few others that come before this. You place the bar somewhere about head height or chest height. But I'll start it up here so you can see what happens. Now right away, you should notice that this is a very unusual height, that it's difficult to try to improvise something like this. Where could you find a bar that's, about this height, and what would you do with it? Well, this is where we do the combination pull-up and squat. So depending on where I set my feet determines how much is going to be a pull-up and how much is going to be a squat. Right now my feet are right underneath me. So I'm going to lower myself holding the bar, and I'm simulating a pull-up or a chin-up with my arms and upper body and a squat like this. Now right now my legs are doing most of the work, but because we're working in an open vertical plane, which we can pass through, we're going to have half our body on one side, part of our body on the other side, I can change the amount of resistance on my arms by moving my feet forward. Can't quite see this, it's not going to be in the picture, but you can see now that I'm kind of leaning backwards. I have my feet in front of me. Now as I do this motion, it's more on my arms. So the Mobility Max bar allows us to dial in exactly the amount of resistance and work that we're capable of at any given moment. So let's take it a little lower. That's what also changes the dynamic. So this exercise, which is number 19, called the combination squat and chin up, which you do for 30 seconds, can be done at this height, but if we want to make it, we can change it up a little bit by bringing the bar down. Now, when I lower myself and extend my arms, it's going to be, I'm going to be lower. I'm going to be in a deeper squat. So here we go. I've got my feet just a little bit in front of the threshold. So my legs are still assisting me. I'm going down, but I'm really getting lower now. And I can feel the weight on my arms. Of course, I'm gripping the bars. So all of that requires arm strength and helps to maintain the health. There's a nice stretch going on in my shoulders. Here we go. I'm coming back up. Now I'm able to get my chin up. And if you didn't know my feet were on the floor, you might think I'm actually doing a chin up. Now, it's more legs right now than it is arms. So I'm going to move the legs a little further ahead. Ooh, I got them quite a bit ahead. I'm leaning back again. Now, as I go down, I'm really getting a lot of that chin up or that pull up sensation, which is really hard to find. It's hard to strengthen ourselves in this motion. And this is a very functional motion. It's appropriate for what the body is supposed to do. We're supposed to be able to pull ourselves up. We should have that strength. So there we go. That was a nice example of that. I could probably even go lower if I wanted. There's another position right about here. Now something else we do from this position is exercise number 18. So again, I'm going back. I didn't do number 20. Number 20 is the push-up. So I just want to show these exercises where the bar is a little higher. So number 18 is called pulling towards or rowing. So think of rowing motion, pulling your shoulders back, squeezing your shoulder blades. Again, a very, very appropriate functional activity. We're not using machines, we're just using the range of motion that we're supposed to have and using it in a very functional way. So here's how that exercise works. It's called pulling towards. So in this case, I do step forward and I lean back and I row with the bar for 30 seconds. And what ends up happening is that my shoulders end up going back, which is what we want, right? Because shoulders are always going forward all day long. We're hunching over. So this helps to correct that. Now, I might like to have that a little lower when I do it. So, right at about the sternum. And there's actually two exercises in this position that are very similar. There's pulling towards rowing, and there's pulling towards curling. So, here we go. I'll show you the rowing one again. I step under the bar. I lean back, trusting the bar that I made, and I know it can hold us. And I do this rowing motion. You know what? I can also feel my abs tightening, and my legs are involved to some extent. So we're not isolating on just one area. We're getting the whole body involved. And every one of these exercises is like that. The whole body works in harmony to create the mobility skill. And that's what these are. These are mobility skills. These are all pieces, blocks in the foundation of our overall mobility. And when your foundation is firm, then you find you can engage in a lot of activities without even realizing it. I went out golfing today. I don't normally golf, but I was by myself. And I was running. I was running 50, 100 yards. And I don't run a lot at all as a habit, but I'm able to because I'm building the foundation blocks with the 20 exercises that are part of this system. So I showed you rowing. Now curling. Same thing. I step under the bar, I lean back, and I just use more bicep this time. So, you know, guys and gals like to have toned, firmed arms. And this really, really does it. So you do this for 30 seconds. Keep your hips forward and just put the weight on the arms. Okay, so there's an example of 3 of the 20 exercises. And I hope that gives you some idea of what it feels like to use Mobility Max. And oh, by the way, that would be a pretty good exercise too. Just doing this. That's okay. But 20 exercises is all you need. And I hope you get a chance to try it.